Hey, what's going on, guys? Aldesha here, and today I want to go over some Lanard, the Corps Elite figures I've recently picked up. And I picked up this guy right here, Primal Clash, Dino Wrangler, figure, creature, and accessories. I believe this is Shrapnel on a Sabertooth Tiger, and I did not even know that these existed. I went to a Walmart way across town, and they had these figures that I had never seen before. They're not at my local Walmart. And they had this one, and I forget what other one they had. I think it was Titanus, I believe. Can't quite remember. But I had definitely not seen these figures before. I did not know they existed, so I had to pick it up. And they actually had some bigger figures. Essentially the same thing with the dinosaur or the animal and the action figure, but on a bigger packaging. It was actually like a box, and I'll have to go back across town to grab one of those. I didn't have the money at the time to grab one of those, but I definitely wanted to pick this up, and I'm going to open them up and check it out here in a second. But I want to go over some quick recent pickups that I had. And the other day I was in my local Walmart, and I don't usually stop by the discount aisle, but I thought that it seemed like there was a lot of toys there, more than normal. And if you collect these guys, the Corps Elite figures, you'll know Walmart had these single figures for about $1 or so each. This guy, I didn't have him yet, and he was only 50 cents. So for 50 cents, you can get an action figure. I couldn't pass it up. Sorry, the lighting's kind of bad. So I think these are all the figures that they featured in the line. I don't think my local store had all these figures here. And they didn't last very long, evidenced by these guys. There was another one, I forget who it was, Boulder maybe, that was on the discount aisle. So this experiment, this single figure for $1, I don't think succeeded very well. But for 50 cents, I couldn't pass up an action figure with two weapons, actually. Well, three. I didn't notice this guy back here. So 1, 2, 3, 3 weapons and an action figure for 50 cents. Cannot beat that. And I also picked this one up. I had this one already. The first response land air tank with the Plague faction leader action figure right there. I had this guy, but this was discounted also in the toy aisle for like $3. And to get an action figure and a vehicle for $3, cannot beat it. I'll take another tank and another figure for $3. And as always, I appreciate the artwork on these packages. They really put a lot of effort into this, as I've always said, for being basically a store brand. They have a website. They've got a somewhat active Instagram page. And it's pretty cool. And I did pick up this one. I didn't have this one yet. I do have the figure. I do have Boulder, but I did not have this vehicle yet. The chopper right here. So I had to pick that one up. That was full price, but it was like $4 and change. So it's barely full price. And let me try to get this open real quick. They package these things so intensely. It's hard to get them open. So, at least with any speed. Still stuck in there. Let's see. Thought I was going to be ahead of the game by cutting the tape on the bottom of the box here. Already lost the missile right there. Set it to the side. So looks like I'm going to have to tear the box apart. Sucks. Cool. At least that slipped out pretty cool. Or pretty easily, rather. Get rid of that. Let's try to cut this here. Yikes. Without cutting my finger off. Cool. Dropping more accessories. That looks like something for like a Gatling gun, something like that. Let's try to cut this one here. I haven't really had a lot of time to play with these figures, but they're too cool to pass up in the store. And I've got to make time, get a day off or something, go out when the weather's nice and go mess around with these guys. Apologize there. Cool. It's free. So here's the helicopter. The rotor spins here. This one is fixed as part of the molding right there. And the wheels are fixed also, but it has a 3-point landing gear, so it will sit level on your shelf or whatever if you decide to display it. And I'm just knocking every single thing off of this here. Let's see if the canopy opens. It looks like it does. It has a hinge right there. See if I can do that without breaking this too. It's got to be a trick. There we go. So it looks like the figure goes right inside. I'll try to get Mr. Boulder out of there. Sorry for the delay. I should have known better. Have this ready ahead of time. And as I said before, for the price point that these figures are at, the artwork and the articulation and the detail in these figures is quite outstanding. I'm not going to get Mr. Boulder out of there. Let me grab another figure off the shelf real quick. Sorry about that. We're going to improvise with this guy here. Apologize, I don't know his name. But, ooh, they don't have a lot of leg room. Let's see if we fit in there. So, this guy, the one I chose, poor choice, does have a little bit of a trouble getting in there. But I imagine Boulder would fit in there just fine. I'll give him one more shot at getting out of there. Now we'll open up the other figure here shortly. So here's Boulder. I didn't get the zip ties off. Looks like he's still in custody right there. If you see the joystick, it's way low back there, so I don't think you can get the action figure around that to where it's actually usable. Let's see if this figure actually goes. Yikes! So even Boulder here is having a tough time fitting into the cockpit. So I don't think this cockpit is compatible necessarily unless you lay him flat, which is kind of weird. I guess he'll fit in there like that, but he's not really in a flying position, if you can see that. He's just more or less lying flat, but he does fit in there, and you can play with him. I think that would display very well. It looks pretty cool. So anyway, that's the chopper with the action figure. Decals are pretty cool. You can kind of see where they peel up a little bit, but they lay on there pretty nicely on the body. So awesome. So let's get into the Primal Clash figure here with the Sabertooth Tiger. So slip them over. And pull them out here. Let's get his gun out of here. Well, it's actually taped, so I'm not going to jinx it and lose it on the floor somewhere where I can't find it. Let's pop this guy out of here. Cool, so the only thing that stuck in there was the pistol. We'll get that later on. So this pretty heavy piece. It's got a lot of weight to it, and the sculpt is awesome. It's very detailed. And let's see, the action figure comes off, the figure comes off. Let him get rid of the reins there. We'll set him up here. And he comes with a rifle or a weapon right there. And this has the saddle. Kind of reminds me of the Masters of the Universe Battle Cat saddle. Right there, this is a saddle bag. And it's molded, it doesn't open. But the strap on the bottom that holds the saddle on does move. So you can take the saddle off if you want. And he has a saber right there. Let's see if it comes out. Hey, it does, look. Very cool. Got a serrated edge right there. Contoured handle, kind of like Count Dooku's lightsaber to some extent. Make sure that doesn't open. No. And it has a rotating weapon on the back right there. The arms and legs don't move. There's no articulation on the animal itself. But some nice molded rounds right there. The reins. I think you could probably force him off over his head if you wanted to get him totally stripped down, since the saddle does come off. And I don't, yeah, the gun is mounted to the saddle and all the straps like that. So you could strip them all the way down and just have them displayed as the animal itself. But I love the detail on the Sabertooth itself. It's very cool. A lot of nice molding, muscular work right there, detail to the paint. And back to this guy. This will come out of his hand. It's still got the elastic on there. But this gun is molded to his chest. Let's see if his helmet comes off. Nope. He's got the permanent helmet and the skull bandana across there. Nice articulation. One thing it was fairly reasonable. I think this was around $10, something like that total. Maybe $1 or $2 more. But the one thing I think would have been really cool if it had some sound. A button where you could push and the animal would have some sound. That would have been awesome. Otherwise, it's a solid piece. It's nice and heavy. Would display well with the other ones. I just can't get over how cool that looks right there. So yeah, this is the Primal Clash Corps Elite Figures line, the Sabertooth. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. I don't know, this guy didn't have anything to do with it, but I'll throw him up there anyway. Stand him on his shoulders. And I'll be back with another video soon. Thanks for watching. Later.